I mean, am I?
How can we start with a blooper? This is Unfiltered. I'm Nigel Walsh, and you are...
Matt Connolly. Hello, Nigel. He's back. How
Look,
are you?
I like this Sunday, Matt. It's like full of energy and excitement and
Yeah.
mischievousness and whatever else.
Weekday, Matt.
Anyway,
He's exhausted.
how
Just like, no.
it can't be that bad. How are you? How was your weekend?
May is great. Sun has been shining. Yeah, what have I been up to? Kids party on Saturday. Went to watch Bristol Bears play Saracens. Now, that is a kids party, isn't it? That's the perfect day out. I loved
I
it.
mean, you're not there trying to strangle a poor entertainer, which is what I wanted to do for the first 12 years of my life with kids and entertainers and frozen parties or whatever else. I'm sure most parents would have wanted to do something that was probably illegal or bad. But
Sure.
yes, that sounds like a much more sensible idea.
Now, how was yours, buddy? You did something quite brilliant.
We did.
Let's hear it.
I was in Las Vegas on Thursday night. I missed the Backstreet Boys for our ServiceNow event, which I was very gutted about, and flew back to London and then did a charity marathon walk, not run, which was great. It was like 7.5 hours or thereabouts. Although I did check the time, not that I'm competitive, and someone walked it in 4 hours. 4 hours.
I can imagine you as a group of like a family and friends, and you're just edging forward. But you weren't being competitive within your own crowd.
Okay. Well, you all set off and you're timed and whatever else. And my wife and her friend were going. I kept going. There's someone over there with a blue t-shirt. Let's get past them. She's like, it's not a race. I'm like, it might not be a race, but we've come 120 seconds.
Oh, that's great. Sorry, but I didn't give enough time. So there's someone who walked it in 4 hours.
I think I checked. I think it was like 4 hours something, which is actually faster than I can run a marathon. I'm like, come on, this is ridiculous. But it was great. Like the sun was out. It was a fab day. It was well organised. Great charity. They raised over £1 million yesterday, so it was really cool day out. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, really good. Cool. And obviously today is kind of dull and a little bit colder, so we did the perfect weather for it.
Lovely. And how's the body feeling? You all recovered?
Like a machine. I went out for a walk earlier.
Nice. What did your whoop say in terms of your recovery? I mean, we love a bit of whoop chat, right?
Would you believe it? Like if I go for a walk in the morning for an hour, like I normally do, it's like a 4 out of 21. My whoop score yesterday for walking for 7.5 hours was 5.5. Like it almost should have said, must try harder.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I feel like that doesn't permit you to go and eat like a whole cupboard worth of food, but maybe that's all natural. Oh, does it? All right. Interesting. Okay,
no. But I'm trying to work it out because it was low exercise, nothing out of zones here. It was more endurance and longevity. I thought actually the longer you exercised, the harder it got. Like the difference between a 45-minute yoga class and an hour is quite material. But this it was just nothing. It was lovely. If nothing more, my feet
say about endurance. I feel like that's anyone standing next to you on the walk. It was like the endurance of did you notice there's like a change every 7 minutes, just a new person stepping in?
I said my wife and her best friend, and I didn't get a word in edgeways for 7.5 hours. It's all coming out now. So, it was really good. It was really good. What about you? Because you've been high-roxing.
Yeah, no, high-roxing was all last week, I think. I've got another one in, where am I? I'm going to Barcelona on Friday. So another one on Saturday.
When's Sweden?
June, next month. Yeah, so it's all laddering up to that. Yeah, I think I will be. I just got to, keep fat Matt away and keep training and, injury-free. I
like the fact that you've gone for the extra few grams or micrograms to lose weight by shaving as well. So well done.
And also wind. Just much, much faster. Thanks, mate. It's once every couple of years.
The clip for this podcast needs to be Matt's got wind.
Yeah, it could be. That's a nice title.
There you go.
If we just like AI read the transcript and come up with that. Right, come on. Let's get into.
What have you found this week? Come on, what's good and exciting in your world? What have you come across?
This weekend, I can tell you something. Which I was mowing the lawn, listening to podcasts. Also, no one said thank you for mowing the lawn still. I'm hopefully going to go up like some kind of hero up like to the house later. But
it's middle-aged man territory. Enjoy it. Yeah. I love my hour out there mowing lawns at weekends. I said to Emma this morning, I'm going to wash the car, mow the lawn. She goes, don't cut the lawn. It doesn't need cutting. I'm like, but I want my walk. I want my podcast. She's like, don't cut the lawn.
Wow. That's so brutal. Yeah, no, mine definitely needed it. So yeah, so listening to that, I was listening to young Harry Stebbings, who is fantastic on 20VC, which is one of our favorites. So he's interviewing Chris Weitzman, who is the founder of Speechify, which is a phenomenal business. And I say that I haven't ever used it or needed to use it quite, but it basically reads text, translates text into audio. And it's worth gazillions. It's an awesome business. It really heavily focused on, and for him, he invented it because he is dyslexic, and it enabled him to do a whole load more. But also, when you're getting older and you can't see as clearly or you can't read as clearly, it's
Yeah,
got load of different audiences. Love the business, but what he was talking about, which I thought, which stuck out for me at least, it's kind of off the back of a week where I have been kind of a mixture of losing my cool, but maybe just pushing to the extreme to get my guys using AI harder than they're currently doing, and to experiment and to really push boundaries and to spend credits, right? And this is kind of off the last chat
yeah,
that we
yeah.
had where I'm like, Uber was blowing its budget and I was kind of like, doing the same in a much kind of more reduced Sonar style. But it's kind of one of those where, anyway, so what he was talking about was he is nearly at the level where his engineering team cost in AI credits the same as their salaries. And he's
Well,
pushing for that to go beyond. And I think that's really interesting, right? So he's wanting them to use it harder and harder and harder. But what's also like something which kind of stuck out was so he's selecting kind of like the best use cases internally of how like Jeff does this, share that with the team, and how Pete does that or Sarah does whatever. But he himself is driving it so hard that he's able to demonstrate how he uses it to his engineers, which I think is also like incredible. Like these founders who are so articulate in using AI to code now. I know. So I thought that kind of the cost differentiation I thought was really interesting. Is that going to be the way businesses go? Where actually, if you're employing someone for £100,000, you also should
we
be assuming they're going to be spending 100,000, in AI credits.
we've talked about this quite a lot before, haven't we? As well, in terms of token maxing that we've seen. You mentioned the Uber stuff. I do feel like we're in that valley of the shadow of the devil. We want to use it, we just don't know how to use it properly just yet. And we're kind of going through that dip to go, what do we use it for? What do we not use it
Yeah, yeah,
for? After this, my next project is to go play about with an open claw and go get an agent working on my newsletter. Like I've never used it for that because I like to be able to write it out and listen to things, take notes, put them into the thing, then assimilate. Because that's how I think about things. I need to write it down, whether it's
sure.
pieces of paper or whatever else. So I love the process of going through that. I want to work out what can I do better. What does it learn? The last time I tried to put the newsletter through AI, it didn't like LinkedIn, and B, I was trying to do some analysis on it, and B, it tried to reformat it to go, maybe you should join these together in different ways. And mine's very much done around watch, listen, read, because I think the watching is if you're sat still, or the listen is if you're out for a walk, or read is if you're somewhere where you can't do either of those two things. So I like the fact it was formatted that way. I don't know where I got
Yeah.
it from, but it worked for me. So it's then saying to me, link it in a different way means you'd be jumping from one meeting to the other. So that didn't work. But I want to go retry that again. So after you and I finished up, I'm going to do a few chores type stuff and then go play about with that. So rather
That
than sitting
sounds
in front of
nice. It's
Netflix,
like
that's
like
my
8 o'clock in the evening. I love it. What time are you going to bed? I was like
the
about to
night.
finish this and just go straight upstairs to sleep.
I'm
Well
not a
done,
big
you.
sleeper. You know about this, and
Yeah,
I try to get to bed before midnight. But I feel like the night's young. It's bright outside. I love summer evenings because
I know. It's nice.
it's 10 to 8 and it's bright and sunny outside. So yeah, it's good. It's really good. I like
Good.
that Speechify thing, by the way. I've not come across it or used it. My wife sent me a reel a few weeks back, actually, that talked about the number of things that have been invented to help disabled folks that have then become mainstream, whether it is audiobooks, whether it was the electric toothbrush, whether it was drop curve. That was an amazing
Yeah,
list
yeah,
or
yeah.
array of things that have come from helping people with disabilities to what we all now know, love, and expect day in, day out. That was a really cool idea.
Did you know? So my first business was a digital agency, and so it became an innovation agency, and that's hence I got into this whole space. But when we set up the business, so it was me and a business partner, we're 50-50. It was called Enable, and we set it up with the intent to it's classic Bristol, right? But to save the world through digital, and so we in terms of clients, we went after the charities, not for profits, NGOs. That was it. And at the time, so this is 2003, the term kind of like digital accessibility, web accessibility,
Yeah.
there's some standards, the W3A that just got put out and published by the government. But it's all around, like if I can't see, how do I, access technology? And therefore, what is the way that websites are designed and built that can work with accessible technologies? And so we're trying to ensure that the stuff that we created were accessible to the widest audience that we possibly could, right? And especially working for charities and not for profits, you can understand, like one of our clients was the RNID or the RNIB.
Yeah.
RNIB is just birds, isn't it? That's not so
No,
interesting.
blind.
Blind. Yeah, what's the
I've no idea.
RSPB? They're another client. Anyway, so we went for all, but we had the whole, honestly, this business went phenomenally well. And then we moved into sport and fashion because we wanted to sell the business, and we were just like capitalist bastards and the rest, right? But anyway, but coming back to that thing, what was really sweet. So my mum, of course, as mums do, they have no idea really what you do for a job, right? And so
Yeah.
she would ask again and again, and she would want to tell her friends because, this business was rocketing and there's a lot of success that went around it with a lot of noise. And what she kind of took away from every articulation of what I do for my job was Matt helps disabled people fix their computers. It's brilliant, right? To this day, I would say she still thinks that's what I do for a living. And I love that, right? And I just and that's what all my friends laugh about. But it's like, I'm fine with that, right? What a sweet
But it's
thing.
kind of like, that's all about storytelling. Like, I was out with my little guy earlier, going for a walk, and I was asking what his week was like ahead and everything else. And he was listing out this huge, cool week he's got at school coming up. And I'm like, you hear what you want people to hear, or
Yes.
you tell your story so that it lands in the right way, and then people pick up the right things about it. Like when I worked for Google, people had no idea what I did still, but I worked for Google. It was a brand they recognized.
Sure.
But I guess, almost to your point, anyone who works in tech will be at some point the guy everyone in their friend group calls to go, "Can you fix my computer for me?" Like we
Yeah,
all get
totally.
it.
Yeah,
We all
yeah.
get it.
But you must have this with your
Matt.
friends as well. It's like if they're looking for insurance, so they just come and speak to you. It's like,
Oh my God.
Nigel,
Every
I've got a
time.
new car. How do I? It's like, come on.
No, the most common one recently, and has been for quite a while, is my daughter or son's about to start driving. Where do I get cheap insurance? It's very expensive. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, here's what you do. And here's what I would do if I was in your shoes. Go buy, I've said this before, go buy £3,000 of Uber credit a year, save the money. You'll have money left over at the end of the year. They get a personal driver and someone on tap, no issues. And they get them
So
to
true,
start
isn't
driving
it?
when they're 20. And here
Isn't
I
that true?
am. My little guy starts driving next month, and there's going to be a car that he's going to be insured on. I'm like, damn it! I'm not
There
even
you go.
following my own advice,
There
so
you go.
not good.
Mate, when you just sat back, I just saw you are in a branded ServiceNow t-shirt, or I mean, whatever they're called, shirt. Tell me, how was your week in Vegas? You mentioned it.
It
Hit
was
me up.
good.
What did you see? What were the trends that stood out? Maybe give a bit of backstory, because there's 20 odd thousand people together
No,
for
it's just
ServiceNow, right?
yeah, it's just our ServiceNow conference, like Google Next or
Nuts. I
whatever else,
love
or
that. Yeah,
AWS
sure.
event. There was 27,000 people, I think. It was huge. It's my second one. First year was just wow. I just joined, trying to see what it was all about. This year, the experience again. I mean, the organization, the partners, it was just out of this world. Like it was
Cool.
next level. I was really impressed all round. Great conversations, great people. Really enjoyed it. Huge announcements. We had 9 big announcements in total. I won't go through all of them. But the trends, to your point, like we've announced something called ServiceNow Otto, which was really good fun. It's like our single front door to every AI, every application, every
Oh, cool.
system of data. So like making like generation 1 chatbots interesting, generation 2 now doing stuff for you. Although the funniest bit was there was a guy in California who works for us called, I think, Richard Otto. And he went, I've been here 13 years on LinkedIn. At last, I've named something at me. I'm like, you've just won LinkedIn for the
That's
day. That
nice.
made me laugh.
That's nice.
So Otto was really, really cool. And then the other big thing, like for everyone, I think it's true all over the industry, is governance and control. So we
Yeah,
have a
sure.
big play around something called AI Control Tower, which actually helps you understand what's going on, where it is, what's, across all of your AI or third party AI, whatever else. So AI Control Tower and Otto were two big things for me. Loads of other stuff around tokens or pricing, partner announcements, guaranteed times to go live with benefits in ROI, just unbelievable event, unbelievable few days.
Super
And as I
cool.
said, I had to leave a few hours early. Otherwise, I'd have been there for Backstreet Boys and bopping
Yeah.
away at the Sphere. So
Mate,
loved
I
it.
think it's
Just
ace.
loved it.
What a thing. Isn't it just incredible to to grow a business to that stage and then to have 25,000 closest, customers and friends and staff
I mean,
coming together. It's like
but you think
incredible.
about it, the company's 20 something years old, 22 years old. And Bill McDermott's on stage talking about stuff. Ahmed Savory on there, our president, chief product officer. Jensen Wong's on stage talking
Yeah.
to Bill. It's literally a who's who.
Yeah,
And
super cool.
to keep innovating at this sort of scale with tens of thousands of customers, that's pretty good going.
Yeah, it
We've all
really is.
suffered from the SaaS apocalypse recently. And I think from what I've listened to at the moment, there's lots of stories about that starting to end, or having met the days of that where people realize you're not about to vibe code. I know you and I were always
Yeah,
tapping
yeah.
away to do something but more, but we're not about to vibe code ServiceNow, Salesforce, SAP, or Oracle away overnight by bobbing accounts who had an idea, because it's going to be controlled and governed and secure and safe or whatever else it needs to be. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's all and rather than if.
And on that note of things getting displaced, whether it's a SaaS apocalypse, you were telling me about what's the language app?
Duolingo.
Duolingo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, they're
when
suffering, right?
you mentioned the previous app, I said to you, how similar is that to Duolingo? And it
Mm,
feels like, I looked at their shares a minute ago, they're like down 80% in the last year. Uh, I I always think there's going to be a number of businesses that make it and don't make it. I love Duolingo. So the whole family signed up for it to learn um, German at one point, and I was you know what I'm like. I'm goal
sure,
oriented.
sure.
I have to have the streak or whatever else. The whole family had given it up. Like both my kids learning German at school. My wife's like, oh, fair enough. My father-in-law lived in Germany previously. Like everyone does it, and I'm still there, day 300 on my own. Going, I
You're
can
still
still tell
doing
you
it?
what. Well, I've stopped now, but
Okay,
um, my point is, it's one of those apps that I wonder if or not will be displaced by AI and the current things that are going
sure.
on. Um, so I think I don't know. I could, my gut feel says you can replace it quite quickly. To your point, I'm using AI so much more every
Yeah,
single
yeah, yeah.
day. My start point is very much AI, has been for a while now, asking it everything. And I've got a couple of shortcuts straight into Claude or Gemini or whatever else. So it's really, really cool. I don't know. I'd be curious to see what folks think about Duolingo, where it goes over the next 12, 24, 36 months. I love the interface. I love the gamification.
Yeah, yeah.
Now what?
Yeah, I know some. So my wife, being a language teacher, has. I mean, bear in mind she's on has used it every day for like over 3 years. I mean, it's like this is 1,000 and something day streak. I mean, it's this
That's so
nonsense, right?
cool.
But I think it's also like a addiction, right? It's a problem.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's the gamification in there, so I get it, and she loves it. So I'm going to knock that. But I think the way that people learn best versus how Duolingo. I think there's a bit of a rub and tension that's evidence now. But also like I don't know, like on my Instagram feed, I see Duolingo like competitors popping up all the time, and I think
Yeah.
it's just because it's an easy one to replicate, right? I mean, the technology's there, and then you hear about like the earbuds or the glasses or whatever, and then it's immediate translation, or I think even like it's through Zoom or Teams or whatever, right? It's an immediate translation, so you can have. I think you talked about it, didn't you? Where you joined a team, cool, and then I think you had the translation kind of running in
Yeah.
parallel or
I had
something. So
Japanese running in real time, so I could actually understand the conversation. And obviously you
yeah,
can do
just
it on the earbuds as
amazing.
well these days.
Sure.
So
No, I love all
yeah,
that. I
it's
really do.
amazing.
So yeah.
I just had a quick look while you're chatting away. There's a 56.5 million daily active users for Duolingo.
Wow. I mean,
Daily active
big
users.
numbers there.
It's
Big
good, right?
numbers.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Going back
Yeah.
to control, one of the things I'm sharing to later on today, Tom Ho, you know Tom over
Yeah.
at Howden, he had a really intriguing post all about financial services and agentic AI and how the controls and governance, you set up agents to go do things. It's well worth a read. I mean, he talks about um, how within weeks, you start to expose limits and they're exceeding. You restricted instruments start creeping in. Compliance alerts start
Yeah,
triggering. He had a really good point that was well structured out to go, you get AI to do these things, and all of a sudden things start to drift or change, or
sure.
you push limits into places. And I thought super cool, super interesting. I wonder how everyone's going to start dealing with that going forward. So, well
Yeah,
worth a
I
read.
think that is really interesting, right? I think things will change. We are peak hype, and I've used the term before. It's like it is like magic, right? Some of this stuff is incredible, but I do like. I haven't read this from Tom, but he doesn't hold punches, Tom, and he's beautifully articulate. And I'd like, yeah, maybe ping that over anyway, or maybe
If
we should share
it
it as
was
some notes,
it
put
was
it in your newsletter or something.
thoughtful.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's in there. It was thoughtful, and it certainly paused you to think to go, because as I say, I think both at our event and leading up to that event, everything that we're doing starts with AI controls, governance, and everything else. So I think those things for me
yeah.
are being amplified more and more. Like getting it to do things for you, one thing, getting it to do things for you, and then getting other things to do those things for you as well
Hmm.
in an agentic flow, I think it's going to be super interesting over time.
Yeah. No, I agree with
Super,
that.
super
I agree.
interesting.
I
So
had an interesting wrestle with myself. Where am I going with this chat? This week
sounds like a movie.
yeah, it sounds like a movie you don't want to watch. I so I love hacking ideas and then turning them into something. So it's an idea. We talked about doing something in the Dolomites with Danilo from
Yes.
Generali
Yeah. Yeah.
and so we got into a conversation around that a little bit further, and then we talked about taking all the Beyond Boundaries kind of interviews and studies that we've been doing, and going deep into a conversation like robotics, right? Which I think is a really interesting space, but it could be I don't know, whatever it could be something within claims, it could be something out there like from nuclear, right? Whatever it be. But going into something like robotics and going deeper, taking it beyond the panel, getting a group together. So you've got everyone from the kind of the ecosystem we know, but possibly from academia, and just like really, like 30 odd peeps, just getting to the subject in a kind of like 24, 48 hour kind of closed wall environment, and some structure and rigor around that. And that's kind of like to what end, right? And for me, it's all about changing business as we know it. And again, it's not
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
make more money, but like genuine, like humanitarian or kind of beyond kind of like let's create effective change. Going back to my working for charities and NGOs and like this kind of ethical stamp I have on my forehead secretly, but
At least for
it's this kind
mum.
of like, hey,
At least for mum.
at least from mum, make mum happy. And then, but it's really like, can we get a group together around the topic all the way through to creating significant change? Yes, is the answer, right? And no doubt, I'm absolutely convinced we can. And then it's like, of course, for me, it's then how quickly can we do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And bearing in mind, you and I have been in this industry a long time. Like, what change have we really seen? Actually, huge change, but in the relativity of like how much change there is to do is minor, right? But we'll see more and more. And so I started getting into this vibe coding thing, and then I was like, basically spinning up a new business. And the wrestle was like, how quick can I turn this into a business? I was like, no, that's not your objective, Matt. What you need to do is like, how quick can you create change? And it's one of those where I'm like obsessing on the wrong detail because I've got the tools and the creativity and the opportunity to do that. And I know it's a stepping stone towards creating change because I have to spin up the business and I have to get groups together and all the rest, right? But it's really interesting because I am getting into the weeds and I'm not looking
Yeah. Yeah.
objectively at the business. And so it's a behavioral change again, but it's like I'm trying to step above it whilst just getting drawn and excitedly drawn into the weeds to make that change happen. So there you go.
I
That's
think,
what I've been
but I think
wrestling with.
that relates back to a post I read from Joe Pizer over at Aon, which was really, really cool. Again, I shared it last week, where he talked about the relationship between AI, what it will do for the brokerage industry, but the fact that brokers aren't going anywhere anytime soon. I think they've got
Mm.
and I agree with him, one of the biggest opportunities to go do stuff going forward because they have the relationships, they have the distribution, they're
Yeah,
business
yeah,
aggregators at the end of the day. Which I thought was really interesting. So you can create the best thing in the world, but if you can't get it out to people or distribute it, then there's no point.
yeah,
But what I
totally.
do think, like you and I have talked about before, we are entering an era of personalized software, personalized applications, personalized insights, like you and I have done on the Health OS or whatever else you
Sure.
want to call it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think we're going to see more and more of that, but you've got to be able to make it work inside the grounds of an enterprise. It's all well and good, you and me sitting in our respective offices doing some cool things, but actually put that into a business with 100,000 people and shareholders is a very different conversation, I think.
yeah. That's what my
So,
CTO says every
so
time I
you,
pass him something new.
I can imagine, right? But
Yeah, yeah,
that's back to Tom's post about governance and controls.
totally. And fair enough.
What else wanted this week? The other thing that I saw this week was Anthropic's financial services event where they had, I think it was
Mm.
BNY, Allianz, a bunch of others on stage talking about what
Yeah,
they're up to. Um, I think it was more like easier than I expected or more generic than I expected,
yeah,
but
me too.
equally there's some interesting insights to go, hey, we're going to have an underwriter everywhere or a claims assistant everywhere or whatever else. And I believe, I need to double click on it, I believe they also published these are all the things that we are going to do and these are all the things that we aren't going to do. So a really good um, guide, I guess, for where you focus and where you don't focus, the things they're not going to go create afterwards, which goes back to, I think you and I spoke about this before as well, Mike OS.
Yeah,
Remember that legal thing we talked
yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
seems, every time I look online, it's like macOS now has got
Oh, is that right?
gazillions of users. Like, wow, what's this doing to Lagora and Harvey? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I need to go double check on
I
what the
think I'm
focus of
on
that.
stage with someone from Lagora actually coming up in a few weeks' time on
Cool.
a panel.
They're,
I think
they're
so.
doing super well, super
Yeah,
well.
I'll sit down and
One
have
of
a
my
chat.
former colleagues from Google went there as well. So she's awesome. So I'll introduce you to
Okay.
her if you want. But yeah,
Yeah,
really
yeah,
cool
yeah.
things.
No,
What's the
super
week
cool.
ahead
Yeah,
got
no,
for
it
you?
is interesting, but it's also interesting like that they have got such publicity around that, right? Because that's one route to distribution. They've
Yeah.
got audience because they have disrupted, but they've also made that bold claim of doing such as well.
Well, not just that. The other thing I think that's interesting is they've made it open source.
Yeah,
Whereas
okay,
these
that
other
is
things are serving enterprises, then
yeah,
you've got to
yeah,
go, well, here's an alternative that's going to cost me nothing.
yeah, 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 yeah.
What do I do with it? Where's my
Mm.
liability? How does it work? How can I use it? So, look, I think we're still in that figuring it out phase, but the speed at which we're figuring it out, to your point, is accelerating massively.
There you go. It's like
So,
your Hyrox
what's the week
times.
ahead got for you?
London town. I was just looking at there is risk something. It doesn't really narrow it down in our industry. There's an event on Tuesday that
Nice.
definitely has
Which
risk
you're
in the
very
title.
excited by because you can't
I
remember
am.
the
No,
name
I'm
of it.
looking forward to it. Caroline, just before I came down, she asked if I was going to London this week, and I answered no, and then thought about it a little bit more. I think I'm in a couple of times, but yeah. So this week is so Risk World, Risk, whatever the Risk conference is on Tuesday. So I'm going to go to that, which will be cool. And then, and in fact, a meeting that we hadn't scheduled, which we talked about with Stephen Barnum while he's over here. We need to ping him, and
Oh,
I
yeah,
failed.
100%. 100%. I
So
will ping you on
yeah,
that afterwards.
so yeah, we need to chat about that. And then Friday, I'm off to Barcelona, so to race. So that's it.
Very
That's
cool.
my
When's the
week.
race? Saturday, Sunday?
Saturday night. There's three. So we're racing doubles. So I'm racing with my mate Ollie, and then there's another pair of lads, and then another pair of lads. But it's like we're racing at 7, and everyone's kind of like staggered after. It's like, so we're not racing against each other, which would have been fun. And it's going to be a very late night because I think we wrap up about 10 o'clock in
All right.
Barcelona. But thank God we're in
Random
Barcelona because it'll stay awake.
Random question for you. Bear in mind,
Mm.
Hyrox started out as a small little event thing. How much is the company worth?
Oh, yeah. So
I just Googled it.
that is a great question. It's got to be in the billions, right? Now,
Oh, no,
Is it not?
I wasn't going to go billions. According to this, the brand is valued at approximately 140 million,
Oh,
which I
140
thought
million.
which I thought was quite decent still, given it's not a very old company, number one.
No, I just can't. I can't believe. What are you looking at? What are you on ChatGPT or
No,
something?
I did a Google AI overview search,
Oh,
but
do you?
then equally, just think about it. It's physical. It's got machinery. It's got people. It's not AI with just stuff. Remember?
Yeah, it's not a subscription either.
Well, it is to some
Maybe,
people,
but I
Matthew.
don't know. Hey,
It is to some people.
I know. I met someone who'd like done 30 races this year. I'm like, I mean, you're a wealthy
Back to
person.
Duolingo. It's addictive, right? It's a really cool thing to be addicted to.
Yeah. But the amount of money that, even just like the Cardiff Hyrox, it was over like 4 or 5 days, and there must be thousands of people a day.
Yeah.
And I paid 200 £5 for a ticket.
And I
I
seem
mean,
to recall the
that
first
alone
one
is
I
big
looked at
money.
doing was 50 quid, and now it's like 250
Yeah,
quid.
yeah.
It's
And then
mad.
spectators have to pay. And
Although to make you laugh, someone did send me a thing saying putting your High Rock stickers on your bag is the equivalent of putting your swimming badges on your towel, Matt.
totally, it's so right. Or your bag of gymnastics or whatever it was. Yeah, totally.
I love
No,
it.
that's right. I haven't
I
got
love it.
myself a Hyrox bag. Yeah, but I feel I
I
ought
think
to
I
have
put a
one to
High
go
Rock
into the
sticker
world.
somewhere. I
Yeah,
love it.
they're great.
We will do another one. We will do
And
another one.
we're going to do a relay. That's what in fact, yes, that's a really
Lucy,
good idea.
you, me, one of her friends, right?
Yeah, one of her pals. Yeah,
Done.
that's going to be great.
Done.
Okay, good. Right, what about you? What's your week hold?
London all this week, town, recording another podcast. I'm cheating on you tomorrow, so I will
Ouch.
tell you all about that
Yeah, good.
next week. And then I'm off to the US at the weekend. So
Nice.
we have a big event on the 19th of May at our Hudson Yards events with our friends over at Instec. So
Oh, yes, that's going to
come
be
join
awesome.
that. It'll be our first one we've done at ServiceNow. I did a bunch of them at Google, and our first one at ServiceNow. So we've got Hyper Exponential are there, Native are there, Consiris are there. There's a whole host of folks coming along. So it'll be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be good, mate. I interviewed Meredith Barnes Cook, is maybe her surname, from Datos, so they're part of the same group now.
Yes, of course.
When
Yeah.
I was
How was
over
that?
in Hartford, yeah, it's great. It's really fun hearing what they have to say. I mean, there's so much similarity and overlap with Sonar, but I mean, like this world is big, and let's just bring it all together, right? I mean, it's just like let's celebrate change. So
It's
yeah,
funny,
it's
actually. I
super
don't really know that business well enough. I bumped into someone in Vegas who said to me, "Oh, we're now a data OS company." I'm like, "Oh, that's people in Stack." So, data,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
I need to double
no,
check
they're
that at
pretty
some point.
acquisitory. Yeah, they're a good bunch.
Yeah,
But I think they have to be, right. The world is changing fast, and they just need to swallow up, and that's your
and I
strategy.
think where you have distribution like Sonar, Instastack, Camelot, like where you've got communities of people, High Rocks is where you
Yep.
have to start bringing all those things too. That's your distribution at the end of the day, right?
Isn't it? Yeah. Well, look, good luck in London. I'll try and see you maybe Thursday. Let's work
I
that
might
out.
see you there.
But for now, big love.
Adios, my friend. Enjoy
Yeah,
Sunday
enjoy
evening.
it.
I'm
Yeah, we'll do.
vibrating. You're sleeping.
Good night.